there are 4 key things we strongly believe at Infosys that are important for enterprises when it comes to blockchain. The first property is disintermediation. And the reason why that is important is almost all of the large corporations are intermediaries in some shape or form. You are sitting between a transaction that 2 people, that's banks. You are sitting in between transactions that are happening between 2 businesses. You are sitting in between transactions somewhere. So you're an intermediary and you are actually doing some work. And that's the reason you should be worried about it, because this technology, at least in theory, has the potential to disrupt your business. The second one is the immutability. As we've seen in the illustration, I cannot change a block somewhere in the second or the third block and expect that everybody will be okay with it. It immediately becomes impossible, almost near impossible for me to fake the data in the system. The third one is collaborative decision making. You notice that in that particular example, A, B, and C did not need a centralized body or an authority to say that somebody was faulting. Today I could be the guy who's doing the wrong thing, tomorrow somebody else could be the guy. Collaborative way of coming to a decision making is important. And the last one is the utmost important feature and something that is extremely important for enterprises, which is the smart contracts. See, the data that we have seen there in that illustration, that piece of text box, I can not only put some data there, but I can also throw in some code. And that code is something that you cannot go back and change. Now that is a contract that, let us say a document that we write and sign the contract saying that I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and you'll pay me $1,000 for that. You sign that and put it. Now you have data that you cannot confuse, that is non-reputable, that is something that you cannot argue on. And then you also have a contract that is codified and digitized and put on the blockchain. So that's where, as Gurdeep was mentioning, you can trigger a lot of automatic systems where people are not required to come in and do activities post a transaction. The manual processing is minimized to a largest extent because a smart contract kicks in and can do a lot of things. Just a simple example, again, just to kind of give you a sense of what it is let's assume that it's a pharmaceutical company that is shipping vaccines to a hospital. And let's say that the vaccines lose their efficacy if the temperature crosses 25 degrees Fahrenheit, right? I'm just making it up. You could theoretically think about, there'll be a contract and all that stuff, and the truck will go. Let's say the refrigeration system on the truck fails. You would have somebody at the hospital receiving testing. Maybe in worst case scenario, it would not even go there. People get the vaccinations, and it's not viable at all. But you could think of implementing a system where IoT devices are sitting on the truck, constantly pumping the data onto the blockchain at a certain interval of time. As soon as it hits 25 degrees or above, then the smart contract kicks in, the shipment gets canceled, the truck driver doesn't have to go anymore. And let's just, again, this is making stuff up. Let's just say that the product is still viable in animals for another 48 hours. You could think of creating a secondary market where now you're going out and selling this particular product to farms and whatnot, and the truck gets diverted. So a lot of stuff which would otherwise take a long time to actually get through and happen, probably product is lost and a lot of time and money is lost, can now be automated through that.